Hi everybody, hope we're having a good weekend so far. So today is Saturday the, I've completely forgotten, 9th of November 2014. Good lord, I'm definitely losing the plot today. So we're back and we are back to review, sorry I said 9th of November, sorry it's actually the 8th of November. God, I'm going a day ahead. So Constantine, good lord, I'm waking up. Aired last night, obviously the latest episode, episode 3, titled The Devil's Vinyl. And this one's quite, I mean, all the episodes, we know that all the episodes are going to be dark and stuff, but this one was quite gruesome to an extent. It's called The Devil's Vinyl because basically what it's about is a legendary acetate music recording that was done many years ago, and a woman who we'll later on find out what her story is, takes the acetate to a guy by the name of Bernie, who's a music producer, and she wants to get it authenticated, but she tells Bernie not to listen to the music, do not listen to the recording, of course. Curiosity gets the better of him, so while she slips out to take a phone call, he decides to listen to the music, and it doesn't end well for him. When I say it doesn't end well, he kills himself. So, and Bernie actually has, well, I say when John Constantine finds out what's happened, he knew Bernie a long time ago. You know, he was actually part of a band called the Mucous Membrane. So that was quite interesting. So when Constantine finds out about what's happened to Bernie, he is devastated, but he needs to know what caused Bernie's death. Why did he die? And using black magic as he does eventually find clues, and then that's when he pinpoints the woman, Jasmine. We'll later on find out that she is known as Jasmine. Taking Zed along with him for the ride as well, because it's quite interesting how Zed is very useful. On the sly, Constantine is asking Chaz to dig into, know more about Zed. Who is she? Why is she here? What can she do and all that sort of stuff. What is her reason for being here? Why she bumped into John in last week's episode. So he wants to know a bit more about Zed. So there is something about her that no one is sure about. Unfortunately for Chaz, he sort of hits a bit of a dead end in the research into finding out about Zed. But she proves useful. She is very good at what she does. There were a couple of moments in the episode where she's actually seeing things that Constantine and Chaz can't see. One particular was a white tiger that she could see. So she's got a sense about her. We just don't know what as yet. What else happens in this episode? So when eventually Constantine tracks down Jasmine, but it's actually a chap by the name of Ian Fell, who is a rock star, well-known rock star, and that's where Constantine sort of loses the plot when he finds Ian and confronts Ian about what happened to Bernie. Ian has no idea what Constantine's talking about. He doesn't know what he's referring to, why he's screaming at him and shouting at him, and that's when his wife Jasmine comes into the scene and explains everything, the reason why she did what she did. I'm not going to even reveal why she did it because it does give away a huge sort of sort of a spoiler. But let's just say it shocks Constantine. He didn't expect that bit of information from Jasmine. But there's another character that appears in this episode who we've been waiting to see for quite a while now, since the show started. It's none other than Papa Midnight himself, and let's just say Papa Midnight also wants the acetate for himself. Doesn't really want to do anything with it. He wants to keep it because he is a collector, and but Constantine has got other ideas. He doesn't want Papa Midnight to have this acetate in his possession because he knows what this acetate does. And what it actually does is, if you listen to the music, it's basically it goes back. We're going back sort of, you know, so like the 1930s, and a musician by the name of was it Willie Cole, I believe, was the one who he's like the Memphis. He's a blues singer, and he is basically because Constantine and Zed visit a guy in a hospital known as Marcus, who was like the owner of Moonrise Records. His name's Marcus Mooney. So he's still alive, but he gives them the full lowdown about the acetate and why it is possessed. And so this musician Willie Cole, he was the reason behind why this record was possessed, in that he did a deal with the devil. So Marcus, you know, he eventually passes in the episode after telling Constantine and Zed the story. But as I say, it's all of those little bits and pieces of connections that Constantine picks up, trying to find out why, you know, what is it about this acetate? Why is it so important? Why is it killing people as well? And as I say, we even find out later on that well, when Papa tries to get the acetate, well, let's just say it doesn't end up in his hands, but it's the run up to him trying to get the acetate is what's really interesting as well. So Midnight himself doesn't realise just how much power is contained within the acetate, and Constantine is afraid of what will happen if Papa Midnight has that much power in his possession. And he doesn't even want to know. Constantine doesn't want to know what's going to happen if Papa Midnight has that much power. So yeah, but it's a very, very good episode. Really, really, you know, as I say, quite gory in some areas as well. It's very, very how should I put it? Well, it's intriguing. That's for sure. It does open your eyes up as well. You know, and I'm particularly interested about Zed in particular. I want to know what she's about, who she is, and I'm hoping that eventually we will get an episode that centralises around her in particular. We'll know more about her past, why she's been having visions of John and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be very interesting. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, but thank you all very much for watching. Sorry if this episode was sort of jumping about in certain places, but next week's episode is titled to actually no, we won't. I don't even know if there's an episode for it next week, to be honest. Doesn't look like there's anything for next week's episode anyway, but yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.